Hello and welcome to the Leisurely Learning Texthelp PDF Reader series. In this series, we will go over in depth how to use the various parts of the Texthelp PDF Reader to best support your students. In this video, we will be looking at how students can complete math and science activities in a PDF. Let's get started. So we're going to start with some math, and here we have a trigonometry worksheet. The first thing we had to do was turn on this extra extension. So this extension is called Equatio, and what it basically does is when you click on it, it provides this blue toolbar down here at the bottom. So we have a question here we have to solve. I've already gone in and labeled the opposite and the adjacent. And now what I want to do, because I want to have access to the formulas to support me, because most of the time our teachers are giving out the formulas, I'm going to click on the blue square. I'm going to go into options, and I'm going to make sure that formulas is turned on. I'm going to click save. So now what happens when I go in here and let's trash this. I'm looking for the formula for tan, so I can type in tan, and wouldn't you know, the tangent definition comes up. So now I can take this, I can insert this in here. And it's not like a regular picture in a Word or something like that, or the internet where you can just drag and drop it. You have to use these directional arrows because it's a picture inside of a picture. And you can see that it's a little bit bigger than the space, so I'm just going to shrink it by dragging on those three dots here on the side. So it fits to where I want it to go. Now, the great thing is that if I had gone in here and I had trashed this, of course, what I can do is by having this one selected, I can go edit math, and it pulls it back for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the keyboard keys, Shift, Control, and Enter, and that actually copies down that formula for me. And now I can go in and I can figure out where I need to put my numbers. So I'm going to put in 20 over here, and I'm going to put in the O for the opposite, and the adjacent we said was 500 meters, so we're going to go in and put 500 here. Now, I'm not going to go in and actually solve the entire thing. I'm just going to go in and press Insert. I'm going to hide this bar so I can see what I'm doing. And by clicking this button, and then I can drag this down. Oops. Okay, so that's one of the things. You have to make sure that you're not selecting the original piece because it will override it. So I'm just going to go back in here to fix that. I'll just remove this one line. Make sure I'm not selected on that, go Insert Math, and move that to where I want it to go. All right, so you can continue and add your math that way, and there are graphing functions, handwriting functions, speech to text, and mobile, and we'll talk about this one in a little bit. So we'll go to this piece next. So this is an example of I've got to do a ray diagram. So to do this, I'm actually going to use the math space. That's this button right here. I'm going to press this button and it's going to open up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into shapes here and I'm going to look for that convex mirror. So I'm going to put that in there and I'm just going to quickly flip that around. Oops, there we go. And now I'm going to go in and put a line. I just paused the video there for a second just so I could finish making this drawing. It really didn't take me all that long to do, maybe a minute, but I just didn't want to waste your time with having all of that on video. So oops, let's try that again. Let's get that arrow in there. And we'll just rotate that. And we'll move that to where we want it and maybe shrink it down just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is actually thin this whole thing out so I can select everything. I can group it, and I'm just going to take the width of the lines down just a little bit so it's a little bit clearer. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and use the line feature, and I'm just going to change the color of the line to red so it's clear. I'll close this box so it's out of the way. I'll start drawing my rays. And the great thing about this is you have that grid background, so that's going to help you keep the line straight. And typically what you would do is you would have it go through the F. Now this line in particular would be a dash line because of course it's behind the mirror. But now we're going to draw another line, so a new line, and we're going to make sure that this line is not dashed. So we'll see if it comes up as dashed or if we have to fix that. Yeah, it came up as dashed. That's okay. That's easy enough to fix. We'll go in here and we'll fix this. We'll make sure that that is a solid line. And we can repeat that process for C, of course. And then once we are done, we're going to press the Insert Math button. And that's going to come in on our page. Now, it does come in quite small, so we're just going to move it over here. And we're probably not going to want to overlay it because when we overlay it, right, you can still see the other one behind it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move it over here to the side. And then it says use the lost feature. So I can just use the typewriter feature to type in that information. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some chemistry. And, let's get this diagram here. Let's remove that. What we're going to do here is this last question here says, write the balanced chemical equations for each reaction. So I'm going to come in here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my screenshot reader and I'm going to screenshot this piece right here. And this is great because you can use this on any math, really, anywhere on
iron open paren II close paren chloride plus sodium hydroxide.
And it may sound a little bit weird, but that's just because I'm recording. You can actually use the screenshot feature anywhere, even on the web. So if you're doing something, even from a video on the web. So we're going to go to More Options, and we are going to Edit with Equatio. I just wanted to show you that feature. Now, we don't actually need this piece here, so I'll delete that. But what we are going to do is we are going to come back into Equatio menu and go to Options, and we want to make sure that chemistry is turned on. We're going to press Save. And now when we go in here, and let's say we want to do silver nitrate. So I'm going to start typing silver. And you can see that all types of these compounds start showing up. And so we can scroll down and we can see if silver nitrate is in here. Oh, too far. And we can click on it and it comes in. Now I want my plus sign, so I'm just going to do plus. And I'm going to do potassium. I'm looking for potassium iodide. Perfect. And now I need an arrow, so I'm going to type arrow, and I'm going to choose that arrow to the right. And I'm going to go silver, and I'm looking for silver iodide. So let's see if that's in here. Oh, there's H, silver iodide, wonderful. Plus, and I'm going to do potassium nitrate. Perfect. And I can go in there. And now if I need to balance, I can go in and I can do my balancing. And then I'm going to insert my math onto the page. Again, it's going to come in. I can drag it to where I want it to go. I can resize it so it fits a little bit better. It may not stand out very much like this. So what I may actually want to do here is I may want to go Edit Math. And I'm going to come in here and just bold that so it's a little bit more bold. There we go. Or not. We'll see how that looks. And then we'll close this. And we'll come up. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Just moved a little bit. And it's a little bit more bolded. It's a little bit more visible for the teacher to see. So I've got that there. And again, whether or not you want your students to use this is really up to you because it's what you're assessing in this piece. So that's how you can use Equatio within the PDF Reader to support math and science. If you have any questions, make sure you use the link below to access our Texthelp PDF Reader video question form. Be sure to leave an email so that we can respond to your questions. Thank you for watching this video.